the Peter Spice Show.
Good afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon, James.
How are you doing?
Fine.
We're back with episode 7, correct?
Yeah, we'll keep saying episode 7. Just so people,
What are we thinking for the name for this one?
Depends what madness I may end up saying again. I mean, no one's got back to us about badgers, so that's always good, isn't it? Or any other shenanigans that we've talked about.
Yeah, Chris Packham. I was wanting to meet up with from Countryfile.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
No response from him. Maybe we should actually keep badgering him on Twitter.
Keep badgering on.
Yeah.
What hashtag badger?
I reckon he'd follow us back.
Badger the pack.
Let's see how many followers he's got. See what chance we'd have of getting in touch with Chris Packham.
So we're doing this live as per usual. So I'll probably edit the non-talking bits back.
No. We'll keep it going. Chris G Packham at Chris G Packham. Oh, he's got. Nah, no chance. He's got almost 400k followers, and he only follows 284 people. So I think we're pretty fucked with that one.
400 kangaroo.
400 little badgers. It's like a stream farm, but it's just badgers. Following him.
Just like licking the screen.
Making Twitter accounts.
What would badgers lick?
What the fuck you on about?
I don't know. I just thinking. That just came to my head as per usual. That won't be the title. What was badgers lick? Each episode is a badger related question.
We can't keep this theme going.
No. But anyway, what have you been up to the past week?
Not a lot really. It's just been a pretty standard week, I guess. Working, uni, listening to music of varying quality, I suppose.
Ooh. Don't bury the lead yet, mate.
What else has been? What day did we do? Friday last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we went to see Parasite.
Actually, yeah.
Oscar-winning Parasite.
Oscar-winning. I think that's actually down to us. We saw it day after won Best Picture.
We gave it the shove it needed.
Yeah, we gave it the kind of that seal of approval.
It's like they hadn't quite finished the calibration yet, and they secretly emailed us in Morse code. I mean,
spoilers.
And spoilers, and then we gave our decision. Said you should definitely do it for them. No, fantastic film. We really enjoyed it.
It's been our film podcast.
Within a music podcast.
Yep, and a sports podcast.
And an animal podcast.
Yes, and a Badger Welfare podcast. And a Chris Packham fan club podcast.
The Badger Bonanza continues.
Yeah, very good film. Excellent film.
Yeah, I've put one of the songs on there on that
playlist.
Yeah,
good. Actually, good.
Good soundtrack.
Good soundtrack, yeah. Very good.
I'm going to get it.
It was... I mean, could come to this in the news section, I suppose. I think we did say that we thought... Well, you thought... I'd not seen it at this point. You thought the Joker would get a best...
Oh, yeah.
Score, whatever it is.
Which it did,
yeah. But even so, I thought Parasite were very, very good soundtrack as well.
Yeah, very, very good soundtrack. I think... It's weird, isn't it? Like, a lot of, Korean films... use a lot of classical type music as the score, which is not a bad thing, but it's because I've always looked at scores anyway as the modern version of classical music, because that's just how they all arranged and everything like that, and that's very much traditional, but it still works in the same way as the films and that. Whereas Joker's is a very haunting, bleak sort of soundtrack, with the Chernobyl soundtrack.
I've actually seen Joker now.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
that was alright.
Alright, okay, well, that's the end of this podcast.
That's for the film podcast, when we come to it. It'll be 2025, we'll do a decade review, 2019 to 2020.
But you see what I mean with the sound?
Yeah.
It's very loose. Well, the thing is, a lot of wind-based
cello.
Wind-based cellos.
A lot of deep strings.
Deep strings.
Yep.
Cool.
That's how I describe it anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. I get where you're coming from. That's something that, Well, that's the thing with... I can't remember exactly what her name is, but she was friends with Johannes Johansson, who, if you don't know...
the person who did the Joker soundtrack, is this? Who are you talking about?
The woman, the woman who did the soundtrack. So she was friends with Johannes Johansson, who did loads of really cool stuff with... he did the soundtrack for Arrival, the soundtrack for Prisoners, Sicario, his last one before he sadly passed away a few years ago was Mandy, which is a crazy film with Nick Cage in it. But he was meant to be doing originally the new Blade Runner soundtrack, but then got pulled off it for whatever. No one knows the real reason for it. And then Hans Zimmer and then Benjamin Wallersh, whatever his name is, came on to do it. But those two are really good friends. But you can tell because they're both like Icelandic. I think she's Icelandic as well as he was. So you can tell that sort of there's a very good comparison between both of them. So when she now started popping up with like Chernobyl and a joke, I'm like, oh, I'm really glad that she's doing some similar sort of works that I would expect from Jonas as well. So it's kind of nice to see that, and her get the recognition of an Oscar as well, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, and what one? I think it was the Elton John one that won Best Song, wasn't it?
Yeah, we should really have looked at this before.
Yeah, I sort of forgot we even predicted. Did we even write that shit down?
We kind of just loosely mentioned it. I didn't write anything down.
No, we didn't. The only thing we actually wrote down was our halftime show power rankings.
Oh yeah, for future years.
But yeah, I'm fairly sure Elton John that won the Best Song as well. I've not heard the song. I've not seen Rocket Man either, but yeah,
it's a good film though.
And then why was Eminem there?
Oh, so reports that I very briefly read, so I've not actually read things, is that he was meant to do what's the song called? Lose Yourself.
Yeah,
I forgot what the song was. Yeah. It was meant to do that song years ago apparently.
Right.
But then didn't do it. Because I keep seeing things that finally gets to do it.
Second chance kind of thing.
Yeah, he finally gets to lose yourself 20 years on or something. Oh, it can't be 20 years on. Well, maybe it's 20 years on actually thinking about it. Wow. That makes me feel odd. So yeah, it's like something like 20 years on or X amount of years on, Eminem's finally got to do Lose Yourself at the Oscars. It might be 20 years.
2003, right? Yeah. Wow.
Makes me feel very old. So we all lost ourselves in the reasons why, but we now know the reasons why. I think that's the reason why in a way. No one's actually ever said anything. It is a bit strange though. When I heard about that, I was like, huh?
Did you see the Martin Scorsese thing?
No.
It kind of like it was Eminem, and then it cuts to Martin Scorsese in the audience, and he said that. It was quite funny.
What squint again? If the audio listeners,
they'll see the meme. They'll see the meme.
Okay.
So they'll retweet it. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. We'll retweet that.
Yeah, Eunice.
But yeah, right. Speaking of, we'll get this shit out of the way.
Back to music, yeah.
While we're on the topic of Twitter.
Okay, yeah.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram.
Oh, housekeeping, yeah. Cool.
Podcast is available on all your favourite platforms: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Castbox, Overcast.
But even if you don't use them, follow us anyway and just put a listen. Do what Justin Bieber advised us many weeks ago and go onto every single podcast possible, then put them on low volume.
While you sleep.
So you can only hear us like this.
Yep. Also now available on Google Podcast. That has now been confirmed. We did that live on air last time. But if you missed that episode...
And we also rechecked before Parasite.
yeah, to make sure the actual that episode had gone up. We're on Google Podcasts. As always, shout out to Gilbert for the intro and outro. And the new playlist as well that you've done.
Oh, yeah, so it's on Apple now as well. I've done it on Apple. That was a hell of a lot easier as well. I could actually import the playlist.
Oh, right, okay, good.
So yeah, we've just done. I thought just in case people don't want to, if anyone's actually listened to our playlist and don't want to go back to them and all that sort of stuff, there's one massive playlist of all the songs we keep adding each week.
So we do
a separate one for a more condensed version.
If there's anybody that's the first time listener, for each episode, we do either if it's an episode about stuff that's been happening that week, we put songs that we'll be listening to that week, or if it's like a roundup episode, like the episode 0, the 2019 review episode. It's like songs that we've talked about in that episode. So there is individual playlists for each episode if you just want to listen to, music from 2019, the best of. But yeah, mega playlist. That's about 12 hours long at the minute, something like that, I think.
Yeah, just under 12 hours, like 180 tracks.
You've got quite a lot to listen to.
But again, the whole point is the reason why we do the playlist is that someone might find their new favourite artist. Not saying we're gatekeepers or trying to be trendsetters or anything like that, but we're...
That's exactly what we are, Chris.
Okay, we're exactly that now.
That's what I am. You might not be.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm just trying to ward off any badges. So,
but yeah, it is a long playlist, but it's a good mix of kind of everything really.
There's a lot of, I think at the moment because of my mini hip hop episode,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the grime
yeah.
episode. There's a lot
Yeah,
more.
and your episode 0 as well. You had a fair bit of hip hop in there as well, I guess.
All right. Well, I'm trying to apologise for that right now.
No, I'm just putting out.
There is a bit more of like a leeway to hip hop, but that will probably balance out at some point. We could maybe we might do a bonus episode of like best indie albums or something like that.
Just skip those songs.
Yeah,
Don't like it.
exactly.
Got 11 hours of other shit to listen to.
But yeah, it's also available on Apple. But I think the thing is, I did it on Spotify first because that's where Spotify became famous mainly for playlists, isn't it? Really, so not that anyone really started playlists yet, but maybe someone might like find that, and find something that they might like. But again, if you want a much smaller scaled version, then they are available there as well.
So it is on there, and it is the Peter Spice Show. Well, it's actually TPSS colon
Megamix.
If you search that, I'm gonna test it out live on air again because this is how we do it.
Well, just raw. Raw is war.
Okay. Well, that's not coming up with anything. But if you if you follow any of our other playlists, which you should do,
if you search for us as the Peter Spice Show, all as one word,
yeah,
you should find our Spotify profile.
Yeah.
Same thing goes with on Apple Music as well. You see the Peter Spice Show on there as well, and you can follow us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Followers. We've got 3 followers at the minute.
Yeah, that's me, you, and our friend Matt.
That's a good start. You got to start somewhere.
I guess it's a foundation, as they say. A foundation.
Yeah, if you just follow the profile or whatever, then or follow one place, then you can get to the profile from that playlist. You can get them all in there. So
Why is it called Spotify? Oh, maybe there's an especially bring the pod. Maybe I'm just thinking about
that's
that.
not something I can Google live on air, Chris.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll keep doing the individual ones for each episode.
Yeah, because it's things like
the mega mix.
I don't know whether I mentioned before, but if I like got a 20-minute walk and I've got no other like spot podcasts I listen to on that journey or anything like that, I'll just put on one of the playlists because it serves the time. Songs that I may not listen to what you've added as well, so I quite like that. But then if you want a big mega mix where you want to put something in the background or whatever, then there's that, and you've got all of them there.
You've got a 12-hour party.
Yeah, well, that's what we should do for my birthday, maybe 12-hour party.
If you're going on a long drive for 12 hours.
If you're going to the tip of Scotland to Cornwall and back again from Leeds, is that 12 hours? Or is that more than 12
I
hours?
feel like you're talking about 3 days there, Chris.
All right.
Up to Scotland, then to Cornwall, then back to Leeds.
Yeah.
That's what two lengths of the country. That's
Could be a train. You could do it on a train, couldn't you?
I feel like trains take even longer. Imagine
driving.
Imagine trying to get a train to John O'Groats.
I don't know. The example and the heart of my example was there.
When we do our countrywide tour, John O'Groats to Land's End.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Anyway, that's all that shit done. Anything else to add admin-wise, Chris? Admin section.
No.
That covers it.
That pretty much covers. Just please follow us and interact with us.
Just follow us. If there's any platforms that like you listen to podcasts on that we are not on, as long as it's free to get on, for now. So yeah, not SoundCloud. Don't come at us with SoundCloud.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's a specific platform you listen on, just follow us on Twitter and just reply to one of the tweets or drop us a tweet and be like, get on this platform, and we should be able to do pretty easily, shouldn't we? All the other ones have gone up pretty easily, so we shouldn't really have any problems with it.
I think there is one where, the person got a nice little shout out a few weeks ago, the old Petty Meister. He is on something, but I think what that is it's been like how we use Anchor. It's more like it provides a service. So I think the issue there is that we'd have to change provider, and I can't remember what it was what he uses actually, what he listens to. And the reason why I've chosen not to even think about it anyway, because there's more followers on Anchor on Twitter than that one.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So not that we'll ever get any sort of retweet from Anchor, but if we did, then
just keep nagging them.
Yeah,
please,
please, begging, please, sir, give me a retweet. Yeah. So I think we should get past the admin bit. That's done.
All that shit. Admin, so Chris, what have you listened to this week?
I have been listening to some stuff, surprisingly. what I've listened to this week is Parasite soundtrack several times. Also listened to what I mentioned that came out last week was, I said Psy Spiritual and the Lasso, but he calls himself Spiritual in the album. So
Sorry,
but it looks like
that's why you don't follow us.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so Spiritual and the Lasso's album, Killian on from Mellow Music Group record label, which really, really good, solid record. Again, much like how I really enjoyed Julian Experts with Recognize Ali and Verbal Kent. Just top to bottom, just a very, very good, solid record. And the thing is, it's short enough as well. So it's like, I think they're both under 40 minutes. This one is like, Mellow Music tweeted saying, "No, has anyone listened to this album?" And I said, "Yeah." Well, half of us have. And I put like, it gives me sort of Def Jux sort of and Fondleman Records sort of vibes. What I mean by that is like, so if anyone doesn't know Def Jux, for you younger listeners, LP over in the Jaws ran a label called Definitive Jux, sort of Def Jux because it just sounded cooler, and pretty much known for like really basing a lot of underground hip hop, at the sound wise, lyrics wise, all that sort of stuff. That was like the staple at that point, and that's what was, anything like anyone's like a nerdy hip hopper. I mean, I didn't know much about this until like 2006, really, when I really got into hip hop. But they sort of laid the groundwork for a lot of underground acts anyway. Again, like things like Rhymesayers as well, another label. But then Fondleman Records was also a short-lived label that had a lot more underground and more raw stuff, and where one of my favourites, MF Doom, resurfaced as, before he was Several of X, he resurfaced as MF Doom on Fondleman, and Fondleman and Def Jux always had a good sort of relationship anyway. So it kind of reminds me of those sort of vibes. I don't know why. It's I think with the production mainly because of how the sound is like very much. You can see LP sort of influence, Blockhead influence, other influences that I can't quite grasp while I'm talking right now. But then like Spiritual's a really good rapper as well. I think he reminds me, he's got a good style, but like Mos Def or Yasin Bey as they call him now. A bit like that, but more like, I'm not sure if he's from the West Coast. He may be from the West Coast, but he's got a bit of a West Coast, twang to his voice. Maybe I'm just thinking that it is that case, but he's got a really good like flow, really good like sort of lyrics. And I kept trying to think like, what was coming to my mind was like psych rap, like psychedelic rap. Mm-hmm. You get like these sort of psychedelic like prog rock groups. This is like maybe like a version of that for hip hop. You do get a lot of that sort of stuff, but that's for some reason that's what's coming to my mind when I listen to it. But it's really, really good record there, and I put one of the tracks on there which I think is really good. Layman, that's a really good track, but definitely worth checking out. Much like Julian Experts the week or so before. Anything else I've listened to? I listened to a few singles that came out. So stayed on hip hop. One of my sort of favourite sort of groups, The Legendary. No one ever heard of them. They consist of, if I get this correctly, so Von P, Don Will, Germicide, Che Garand, Elucid, Rob Cave, and there might be someone else that I'm missing. And basically they're all just from around about New York or thereabouts. Not all from New York, but they pretty much reside in New York. And they're just really good backpack underground rappers that have just been around for a long, long time. I've liked them separately. I've liked them as a together as a clique. The first actual album as a clique came much later on. But they've always been a clique, but they never actually did a whole album together, which only came out a few years ago, I think. Just really good backpack rap. What I've always liked, and I've always liked Von P from the group Tanya Morgan, and I think he produces it. This track in particular, it's called Legendary and the Kids Sing About Dope. Just a really cool raw underground indie sort of rap track.
Is that on the playlist as well, I'm guessing?
That's on the playlist as well. So definitely check that out. Elucid, if you don't know, so you know that I talked about Billy Woods several times.
Mm-hmm.
So Billy Woods and Lucid are in a group called Arm and Hammer, which is a great group because they both really bounce off each other. And Lucid's got such a really sort of different sort of sound than Billy Woods, but they both meld together really well. So that's really good. The other track I listened to was it was the new Meek Mill single,
JT,
with none other than Justin Timberlake, and it's pretty good.
Not just listened to it yet.
It's good. I was quite surprised how good it was. Actually. Meek Mill's like really conscious on it, but it's like, you know, it's just what you expect from Justin Timberlake, but it just weirdly it melds well. I don't know why. I don't know how it
works.
Yeah, it works for me anyway. So that was really cool. I also listened to Jenny Beth from Savages, new single, Flower. Pretty much what I kind of wanted from the last Savages album. I think what really like, impressed by the last Savages album. Mm-hmm. But yeah, really good track, and also got around to listening to The Strokes' new song.
Oh yeah, not a chance yet.
Really cool.
Yeah.
It feels like definitely new age Strokes, which is awesome. I can't remember what was it. Come Down Machine last album.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it sounded like, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it just sounds, obviously, with I can't remember his name. Who's the main singer again? Just
Julian
Casablancas.
Yeah.
Just sounds like him, as always. Really, really cool sort of, like, you know, sort of lyrics. That just uses his voice so well, and then back to back a really like electronic-y sort of style for Strokes, which I think they've been going with quite a while, but it's kind of more, I think it's more evolved than it was before. So I really like that. And then also listen to Hamilton Leithauser's new single. You ever listen to a band called The Walkmen?
No.
So I saw The Walkmen, I didn't know much about them, but I saw The Walkmen support the Black Keys several years ago. It might have been, can't remember. It might have been sometime when I first saw Black Keys or the second time. Either way, my friend at the time, Lally, really, really liked The Walkmen. She liked the Black Keys as well. And so she got me onto The Walkmen. I became a bit of a fan because I quite like their sort of style. He did an album with some producer a fair few years ago, which is really, really good. But the main single was awesome though. This was like seems it could be the similar sort of thing. I don't think it's the same producer or anything like that, but I think it's a similar sort of thing where it's a really, really cool single. Using his vocals to his advantage, but yeah, definitely check that out. It's very indie sort of cool sounding. And then I listened to Jay Dilla over the weekend.
Yeah,
as I realised after we kind of weirdly mentioned him on the last podcast because you said working on it.
Why did we even mention him?
He said working on it, and it's one of the instrumental tracks on Donuts.
Okay.
Yeah. So over last weekend was his birthday / the anniversary of his death as well, because he died like a few days after his birthday. Anyone who really wants to really get delved into hip hop should check out Jay Dilla. Really, one of the most amazing producers and one of the most amazing producer rappers as well. You know, he was a really good rapper. If you want to listen to his instrumentals, listen to Donuts. If you want to listen to him rapping, his first album, can't remember at the top of my head now. I think it's in Detroit. Can't remember. But also the Rough Draft, which is one of my favourites. Which is just really, it's literally, I think he recorded everything on a cassette, I think, on that. And I think I've got the cassette upstairs somewhere, I think. But yeah, Jay Dilla, definitely check him out. I put one of the tracks from Rough Draft on there because it's really cool. And that's pretty much it, I think, in terms of listening. How about yourself?
Yeah, I've not listened to kind of tons of shit. All the albums that I've listened to have been like fairly shorter ones as well.
So you just
thankfully. Well, I can't help it, can I? You know, people nowadays, they don't want to bring out full-length albums, obviously. The first one that I listened to is one. Well, I think we mentioned all these on the episode last week. I did put myself through the new Green Day album.
Is it Father of All or Father for All?
Well, it's Father of All Motherfuckers, I think.
Oh, is that their full title?
But then they can't put that out really.
Yeah, but they could do what Lana did for Norman fucking Rockwell.
Yeah.
For the All Stars.
It says motherfuckers underneath the unicorn thing on the cover.
Ah. There's us thinking they want to be back to being cool again, and they can't even do that.
Yeah. Now, we'll preface this by the if people haven't seen it, if they check out Twitter, there was the post that they put up, which was no Swedish songwriters, no features, no trap beats.
Yeah.
100% pure uncut rock.
And did you feel that was the case?
I mean, it's true that there are no features and no trap beats and no Swedish songwriters, I suppose.
Did you think it was uncut rock, though?
There we go. I suppose, technically speaking, it is uncut and it is rock.
Do you think some of the rock should have been cut, though?
Yeah. I think maybe. That might have helped it a little bit. I didn't really like the album, to be honest with you.
Oh, was it like 26 minutes?
It's only like 20. It feels quite a bit longer, though.
Did you see Fantano saw something like on Twitter that apparently if you search for like the album, or if you search for trap on Google, that album comes up. I don't know whether it's photoshopped or not, but I thought that was quite funny.
But I was quite surprised because like I've seen some reviews floating about up there that are like giving it all right,
thumbs up and that.
Yeah, and it's kind of like saying that they're cutting all that kind of American Idiot 21st Century Breakdown when these like almost like an hour-long album kind of thing. They're getting back to basics, and it's like that is true, but I don't think the song is any good. A lot of them are just. Again, we need to start putting specifics, but it's not even like the lyrics necessarily. It's just the way that the song as well.
Right.
And it's like, Billy Joel, you're pushing 50. Just, it's not good. It's not. I didn't think it was a good album.
Are they trying to like, capture the what's this term?
This is the thing. I don't know what they're trying to do.
Okay.
I don't know who this album is made for.
So it's not made for old fans. It's not made for new fans.
I don't know, because I feel like if you're going for that kind of more of a dad rock kind of thing, I feel like American Idiot and those kind of songs like Holiday, stuff like that is a safer bet. If you're going for the older stuff, this isn't it.
And they're beyond the years that even do that, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't get a seal of approval. I mean, I will check it out still, but it won't get a seal of approval.
The only good thing is that whilst it will feel like it's taking up more of your time, it doesn't take up much of your time. You can kind of just get through it.
I mean, speaking of that, I mean, again, side note, but I'm like Pearl Jam releasing like a new song or something as well.
I feel like I might have seen something about that actually.
Yeah, maybe we should check that out.
I've not.
See if they were trying to recapture the,
Pearl Jam.
Put the lightning in the bottle.
Wow.
Anyway,
but I guess if you're a fan of any Green Day stuff, then I guess you might like parts of this. But
especially if any super fans would have already listened to it by now.
Yeah.
But I suppose if anyone's like on the fence, you tell them to go and get off the fence, but on the other end of not.
I feel like you should make your own mind up, but you might not enjoy making your own mind up.
That means don't go to the green side.
Yeah.
Go to the brown soil side.
I listened to the first half of that, the Hayley Williams album, which is...
For a second there, I thought you said, I listened to the first half of the EP, but no.
I listened to...
Three songs.
Yeah. But it's decent. It's not... If you're listening to it because you've listened to Paramore, it's not that.
Okay.
Have you listened to any of the singles from it?
No, that's not.
No. But I think I probably need to wait until the second. I don't understand why people release albums in 2 halves, really. Especially when she's clearly recorded the full album.
Well, I think it's to do with streaming, but
it's a marketing thing. Yeah. So when I said I didn't understand, I do understand it, but it still annoys me.
It annoys me when it's someone who wants to count themselves as a complete musician.
Yeah, especially this when it's kind of debut solo album. Just get the album out.
But it's like what we say there. What is an album though? What
is an album?
Is it just a collection of songs? Is it just for streaming?
That's a topic for another week.
It's going to be a big topic when we eventually do it.
but it's good. It's decent. But I think I'm going to wait until the
So is it more?
listen to the full thing.
Is it any of that sort of? I know because what would you class Paramore anyway? Before like, would you class
That
them?
kind of pop punk kind of?
Does it have any sort of pop punk elements in it?
Maybe some of the.
Or is it just kind of? Is it 100% pure uncut pop?
No.
Okay.
There are some I guess pop punky bits in it, in some of the choruses kind of thing, but yeah, it's not really that, like the instrumental wise stuff like that. It's not really Paramore. Maybe because Paramore, I suppose, the later albums are less that, aren't they?
I never listened to the first one, so I never listened to anything else.
Yeah, but I guess if you're a fan, if you like Hayley Williams, we'll check it out. And then listen to Unlocked.
Your boy.
Yeah, Denzel, Kenny Beats. Real good, actually. I like it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say. I thought it was going to make a twist then.
No, it's only short. That's 20 minutes, something like that, I think. So, but I think it left me wanting more, but in a good way. So, not wanting more as in that was shit. As in that were good. I'd like to see more. Because I think I heard somewhere that they basically did it in like 3 days or something like that. I think Denzel like freestyled most of it, which I don't mind. I think freestyle all do as well. But there comes a point where it's like you can't just sit down and write an album. You know?
That's the issue I always have with Lil Wayne though.
Yeah.
Because that's in the Lil Wayne thing, isn't he? He's gonna.
I don't mind it when it's this kind of thing, when it's this regular, when it's, you know, because I'm guessing he maybe not together, but he's gonna drop something probably later on this year as well. So when it's pretty regular and it's kind of short stuff, I don't mind it. But yeah, I don't want that to take away from just sit down and actually write an album.
Yeah, but I suppose we get this thing where like it's like flexing your skills, aren't you? Really, that's what he's trying to do. This is not like a whole album he's trying to. You know, it's like if it's like 20, 30, under 30 minutes.
That's the kind of on the upside. You know, it's not a
what is Kenny Beats Beats like?
Good, actually. Yeah, it's kind of almost a few throwback kind of beats. It's quite.
Is it quite raw as it was?
Yeah, and it's quite kind of chopped up with kind of samples coming in it as well. Like there are some songs that are. It's like everything is pretty short on the album, and even songs that are like kind of 3 odd minutes long. There's probably only 2 minutes worth of songs, and then a good minute and a half is kind of stuff cut in with it. But yeah, it's definitely worth a listen. Pretty much all the tracks are good. Have you? Well, obviously you haven't listened to it. But I'd say watch there's the YouTube video that goes with it as well.
Yeah, is have you watched that then?
Yeah, it's pretty funny actually.
Yeah,
I'd say watch
that.
Listen to the album itself, because there's like other stuff going on in that's not
relevant.
Yeah.
Well, not relevant, but like
there's like, you know, sounds in that are just from the video kind of thing.
Right,
you know what I mean? But they're both worth checking out.
Yeah, what was the whole thing about them fighting or something like that beforehand? You being a big Denzel fan.
I don't know, was that a real thing?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering if, you know, you being the Denzel stan that you are, thought you might know more about it than I do.
I don't know. Maybe I've not heard anything about.
I think it was just promo.
A serious thing. Yeah, I think it might be, because the whole premise of the video is that the album's been leaked and they're kind of blaming each other.
Right.
And they need to go into Kenny's computer.
Right.
And save the tracks.
Right, I see.
I think that's what it is, but don't quote me on that.
Maybe it was just the whole promo, new promo, fake beef.
Yeah, probably. And then those are the albums. A few singles that I listened to. Is anything worth shouting out?
Dun, 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 dun.
Have you listened to the new Black Midi one yet?
Yeah.
No, not. I saw it and it was like 11 minutes, and I'm like, I'll listen to that later, and I've not listened to it.
It's alright. It's nothing like. I was hoping it to be something really, really cool, but
yeah,
it's okay. It's nothing like. It's kind of like them just kind of jamming. That's basically. And if you remember how the album's like not all over the place in a bad way, but it's all over the place in like so many different sort of things have been put into it. Where this track is like a very, very condensed version of that. So it's okay. I mean, they did say it was like from the sessions or something like that. So, maybe that's what they were trying to go for. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was hoping. I don't know. I was hoping for more like a very
kind of cohesive,
but a song. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it's. It reminded me of. Did you ever listen to Parquet Court's Monotastic Living?
I think so. Yeah.
It's just basically it's just sounds basically. It's not. There's no real singing in it or anything like that. It's just them kind of trying something new and weird. It felt like that was kind of like how this was with very, very little vocals. So
Right, okay.
It's kind of wanting like something, bit of a punch to it maybe, I don't know, because he's got quite a good voice.
Yeah. But yeah, there are a few other things I'll listen to, but I'll just drop them in the playlist, really.
Okay, not worth mentioning.
I don't know if there's anything worth like talking about at length, really. Let me have a look. Not off the top of my head. They'll be on the playlist if they are worth listening to.
Yeah, it's fine.
They'll be on the playlist.
So it's the news segment.
Into the news.
I thought I was going to Superman then.
Chris, what the hell's been happening this week?
Well,
This actually, in a bit of a twisted way, because it's not a nice situation, but after a bit of a slow news week, and then last kind of 36 hours, just
shitstorm,
all
mate.
sorts happened, so
Even on our boy.
got something to talk about now.
Our boy has been
Yeah,
doing some naughty things.
If you haven't seen, which I think it'd be hard not to. Well, if you follow that kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been pretty much all over.
So what we're talking about, what we're alluding to, what we're trying not to bury the lead, slowthai.
Yeah, and it's the Enemy Awards on Thursday night, I think.
Yeah, Thursday night.
slowthai won
Hero of the Award. What even is that award?
Hero of the Year. Hero of the Year he won. And then got up on stage. I mean, there are videos of this on Twitter. If you just search slowthai, I'm sure it'll come up like first thing. And I think it was Catherine Wright. Was Catherine Wright presenting, and he was getting a bit too close and making a few lewd comments, shall we say?
Yeah, he was a leery lad who was saying things that you probably shouldn't say, especially on air.
Yeah.
Never mind anywhere else.
And probably getting a bit too uncomfortably close to her.
But this is the thing, though. So if you kind of step away from it, yeah, I'm not condoning any of his actions. I want to make that very, very clear. But we don't know, even as the public, how close their relationship is outside the public eye. Do you know what I mean?
So then, just to quickly recap, then someone in the audience was like, pack it in, because they do have I think a public audience part of it, don't they? Pretty much up to the front. Then he dropped his microphone, threw his microphone, whatever, went into the crowd. Someone threw it back at him, threw drinks at each other. He jumps on stage, starts to try to scrap him. Security escort him out. So first of all, it comes when you first see it. On Thursday night when it happened, Friday morning. No, Wednesday night wasn't it? Because this is Friday morning today. Wednesday night it was.
Yeah.
Thursday morning.
Yesterday.
It looks like really bad, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it basically looks like he's harassing her on stage, and then kicking off with somebody in the audience for being like, "You're a bit of a prick, really."
Calling him out just to fight a bit.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. You can argue about kind of throwing stuff at each other, whatever, but the actual thing was they were just being like, "You've been an arsehole," and he obviously didn't like that. But then, kind of since then, the tweet he's apologised on Twitter, whatever. She's responded to him, but the thing here is that he's basically saying it was a joke that went too far. He knows it was inappropriate, but it was meant as a joke, and it kind of gets it wasn't funny. And she's basically come back saying it's all good, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which then, like you say, makes me think that if you take away the massive audience and people, what seems to have happened according to them two is that he's made a bad joke, what he thought were funny. She didn't find it funny, but then was like, oh, it's okay. You didn't mean it like that.
She was comfortable in herself to be like that.
But then you add the fact that there's a massive audience and people filming it, and then I'm a bit split on it, really.
Torn.
Yeah, because it's one of these where, was it a joke?
But you know what annoys me though is the fact that, because obviously we live in this world where it's now cancel culture, and not so he's not like super young. He's still a young kid, and I say that I'm like in my early 30s, but he's like in his mid 20s. We've all made stupid mistakes, especially with alcohol involved. I know, hand on my heart, I know I made a ton of mistakes and things that times have changed in terms of when I was going out drinking and stuff like that when I was a lot younger. I'm not condoning my actions in the past or actions that he's done there, but someone said, "Oh well, it just shows your true colours," and I'm like, well, that could be true, but if anyone's ever been drunk and has a bit of a larger than life personality or is a bit mental, i.e., a mutual friend of ours, Kev, you know, like they sometimes go way too far because there's no rational thinking, and that's what when you're being drunk can take rationality completely out the window, and that one action, which obviously could have been a hell of a lot worse, but that shouldn't define the person or define his character.
Yeah, I do think the people that were people tweeting, slowthai just ended his own career. His career's over.
Well, someone changed the Wikipedia, didn't they? You see that?
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something along those lines. Yeah, I don't think it's, especially given the responses. If she'd come out and been like,
I mean, I get her point of like, well, I'm a an independent, strong, woman that. I can handle these situations. Something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing there, but I did get the point of like other women were saying, well, you made that, but what if that's someone else? Who doesn't feel that way in it with themselves or feel comfortable that way.
Yeah, so then this is the question of like, if it was somebody else presenting, I mean, we're talking hypotheticals here, would he have been doing the same thing, or? I don't get the impression from all this that they necessarily do know each other, really. No,
and I think the whole thing with it being a joke is a bit like a...
That's kind of stretching it a bit. I feel like he should have just come out, held his hands up.
That's guising it in a way that's not real.
Yeah, and been like, well, pissed.
It's like tempering things. Like, it's not really this... Because if you think about it, if that was a joke, why would that be the joke?
Yeah. Why would you start... why would you throw your mic? Well, not throw it. Why would you try to fight somebody who's calling you out on it? Wouldn't you just be like, "Oh shit, sorry, yeah,
it's a joke." Yeah, exactly.
I get you pissed, whatever, but yeah, that's where kind of stuff don't add up completely to me. But then I think as well, like you have to look at that situation where he gets up on the stage. There's like other people on the stage. I think fucking KSI, the YouTuber, who's big boxer guy now. He was like stood on the stage. It's like maybe just be like,
mate, just it's a bit go too far now.
Just I don't know if it's because it's an award show and people...
Was Enemy want to make a thing, so who knows, maybe this is all orchestrated. Conspiracy now. Put conspiracy hat on.
Tinfoil hat.
Tinfoil hat. What if it's all conspiracy? This is Enemy, remember. Enemy is not really relevant anymore, is it? Let's be honest. When they started, because they don't publish the magazine anymore, they're fully digital now. Enemy.
Are they?
I think so, yeah.
Obviously I knew that it was free. But I didn't realise it had gone...
I think they're full of... All right. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm hand on my heart and I'm like, I'm sorry. But like, but when I used to work at HMV, we used to always get Enemy magazine and stuff like that. And like, they've always tried to be a little bit different, especially when I was at this award show. Getting the award show, like, they're putting the finger up or something like that. So like, when you really think about it, this is something that would shock people and make people maybe tune in next year because it could happen again. So... was this whole conspiracy? Was the whole thing... Maybe it was a joke in terms of the organisers who wanted to create this sort of... I'm not saying this is the case, by the way.
We're going deep here. We're going deep.
Going deep. More deep strings that should be attached to this. But do you know what I mean, though? Like, what relevance does Enemy really have now? I mean, I recently followed them on Twitter so I could get any sort of news articles that could happen because obviously this was all happening.
I think it's what Enemy do, and there's other magazines that do the exact same thing. They latch on to artists when they're getting big, and then they push them, so the artist then feels like they owe them something, and then whatever the artist does, even if it's not that good, they're like, fucking brilliant. So then the artist can be like, yeah, but you see, my album got a 5-star review in Enemy, and it's this kind of, it's like a parasite. Enemy's a parasite.
Yeah,
and they're just and the artist, they kind of feed off each other almost. And there's other magazines that do it as well.
It goes back to like the Source and Double XL for hip hop. They're always at war with each other because they're the two major publications of hip hop. And people would say, oh, well, because when Benzina used to run the Source, when people knew him, he'll probably give them like five mics? Maybe it might not have been that great of an album, but that's what would happen. And when like because the whole thing with back in the day with him and like Eminem didn't get like the actual recognition on the source because of like some of the sort of the bullshit. So magazines have been known to do this in the past. That then questions the integrity of a review, where almost like like how we've been saying before, like we're not trying to rate albums that we like. We're not trying to put a number attached to it because I don't really feel like it's a bit arbitrary. But
yeah.
It does bode well though, because obviously we can say it's good or fair, or however we want to say it.
Yeah.
But it should still feed into something because like I said about any decent music, that is a really good indicator like what is genuinely pretty decent. If most of those reviews are genuine anyway.
Yeah.
But again, this is my point with again what I said 2 or 3 weeks ago. Like, why do we have about 50 award shows for each bloody magazine and publication that happens? Like, why we should do Peter Spice Show awards and just like we'll get like a little room in Leeds somewhere, go to the Hi-Fi Club, we'll just present it. No one's gonna come. You know what I mean? We'll make some sort of bullshit award. We'll do one award for each genre. Like, what's the point? Why do we have all? It's the same thing with films as well. I still don't understand what they're saying in the award shows.
Patting themselves on the back, innit?
But it's just like what are you really proud? It's like the old thing about the Grammys, like years and years ago. It was like, oh great, I won a Grammy. Like it's almost like irrelevant now. So like, you got all these awards, but like for what? Like. Because you've been paid pretty much to get an award? Did you really feel right?
If anyone wants to send us an award, we won't say no.
No.
We'll take an award.
I suppose. But, yeah, I'd rather question the integrity of it all than everything else. But who knows, maybe it was all planned. Them trying to be relevant again.
Yeah, I guess my overall take is it was...
a stupid mistake.
Like, just on the surface and what he actually did, just by itself, without whatever context. Not that it needs context, but it was inappropriate and kind of a bit gross, really. But given what's come out afterwards, there possibly might be more to it, and really nobody other than them two, I guess, would know properly. So, but yeah, I don't think this is gonna given his persona and I guess us included in this audience, but I'd say that kind of probably core group of people who are like massive fans of him. I don't think this is going to necessarily change their opinion of him massively. So
no,
I can't.
It hasn't changed my opinion. I feel like when I've watched a fair few interviews of him, and how he comes across with himself, and he seems very, very genuine, down to earth, and a really nice, like very polite person. Then I feel like, him being incredibly drunk, he's obviously feeling himself because, he's at an award show, he's winning an award, all that sort of stuff. His rationale's gone out the window, and that's what's happened. It's like, we all do stupid stuff, whether we're drunk or not, and it's not going to change my opinion of it. I still feel like he's still the genuine person. We've got to know him over the past for me, the past year or so. So
yeah, I think it'd just be. I know he's addressed it to a point, but I think it'd be interesting if he does actually address it more, because again, I'm not the stuff that he has said, I'm not 100% buying.
Yeah.
So, I'd rather him come out and say what you just said. Our arseholed and but yeah.
Well, someone grabbed a tweet from whenever it was, when it was like he put out that's like when I'm drunk I'm trash. So, well, the thing is, he needs to conduct himself. If he's going to conduct himself in sort of inappropriate manner like that and be intoxicated, then he needs to be doing it when it's not in front of cameras.
Yeah, when you're not on stage in front of however many thousand people. Anyway, on a lighter note, should we run through some of the enemy awards?
Yeah, well
given that we've just said it doesn't mean fuck all.
Well, I just thought we might as well.
I think if anything, this is probably just going to prove our point, like that it means fuck all.
Okay.
I'm going to run through and so right. I tell you what,
but some of the categories are really stupid though. Well,
we're not going to have all of them. The first one, there's no nominees for this one, so I don't know how they've chose it. Album of the decade. What do you reckon got album of the decade?
Does it have to be British or does it have to be?
Well, it is British. Bearing in mind what I was, the latch onto artists.
Album of the decade. I mean, I haven't thought about that decade thing yet.
But what enemies album of the decade though?
And it's British, you said.
Yeah. So they pick artists that they like, and then whatever that artist does.
An Arctic Monkeys album.
Oof.
So it is an Arctic Monkeys album. Oof. Okay, so is it going to be The last album.
Okay, they're not going that far.
Okay, I was about to say. Okay. What's my other least favourite album that came out in the last decade?
Yeah, I think they've only got 2 albums that came out this decade, I think.
Oh.
Oh, no, wait, no, Suck It and See came out this decade, didn't it?
I said it's not Suck It and See it then.
It's not Suck It and See, so it's the other one.
Oh, AM.
It's AM.
I like AM a lot, though.
I don't mind AM, but it's not the album of the decade.
No, it's not album decade for me. I like AM, though.
So, let's keep running through. Yeah, a lot of the albums are. So, okay, best band in the world. Best band in the world.
What's the nominations?
There's quite a lot. I'll quickly run through. Bring Me the Horizon, Brockhampton, BTS, Haim, Idols, Krypton Conan, Slipknot, Tame Impala, 1975, The Big Moon.
Of the decade, you say?
Best band in the world.
Oh, best band. Okay, best band in the world. Why
Band
is
in
that?
the world.
Okay. Well, I would go with out of them Tame Impala, but it's not Tame Impala, is it? No. Okay, so they gone for some weird bullshit like BTS or something.
This is just the fucking stupid. They went fucking Slipknot.
They're not even relevant at the moment.
They had an album out last year, did they? How was Slipknot winning this shit?
Okay.
Best British band.
Arctic Monkeys.
Supported by Pizza Express. Hashtag ad. Bring Me the Horizon, Idols, Krypton Conan. Krypton Conan out of band. 1975, The Big Moon.
1975.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Surprised Falls weren't on there, to be honest with you. I thought they'd give it to Falls.
Yeah, especially they dropped like 2 albums like last year.
2 like proper mediocre albums, but you know.
That equals mediocre stuff.
Best solo act in the world. It's Tracy, Beck, Billie Eilish, Charlie XCX, FK Twigs, Lana Del Rey, Lizzo, Slowthai, Taylor Swift, Youngblood.
Billie Eilish probably.
Taylor Swift won that one. She was there as well.
Oh, that was it. Cause didn't she like blow off the Grammys to go to the NME Awards?
Or possibly. Yeah.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Best British solo act. AJ Tracy, Charlie XCX, FK Twigs, Slowthai, Youngblood.
FK Twigs.
Yeah, which I think is decent.
Definitely.
Yeah. Right, best album in the world.
Best album in the world. Right, go on.
I'll just take. I'm not going to give you the album names. Billie Eilish, FK Twigs, Foals, Lana, Lil Sims, Mike Kiwanuka, Slipknot, Slowthai, Stella Donnelly, Tyler the Creator.
Who's that one before Tyler Creator?
Stella Donnelly.
What was the album title?
Beware of the Dogs.
I will be beware of them, Stella. Away from your album. I would go for Lana, but this whole weird trend, maybe Slipknot.
They get to Lana.
Okay.
Best British album. We already know this one. Tweeted about it.
Yeah. Little Sims.
Little Sims. Best song in the world. Id Tracy, Labrador Grove. Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. Clara, Bags. Dua Lipa, Don't Start Now. Georgia, About Work, The Dance Floor. Lil Nas X, Old Town Road Remix. Lizzo, Juice, Mirror Master Fleet and Slowthai, Deal With It. Post Malone, Circles. Fucking Circles. 1975, People.
So it's definitely on Post Malone. Who on? What was the third one?
Claro, Bags. Time's Up, it was Billie Eilish. Time's Up.
It was Billie Eilish?
It was Billie Eilish.
Okay, I was going to say Billie Eilish.
Best British song. AJ Tracy, Labrador Grove. Dua Lipa, Don't Start Now. This is just the same, the fucking, pretty much the same exact thing, but obviously I have them taken out. Basically the same list, but just the British ones.
Okay. So, AJ Tracy?
Yeah, Labrador Grove. It's a bit of a banger, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
I'm not going to even bother with that one. Best Podcast Award. Fucking stupid.
It's not us, is it?
Let's have a look. Best... I've not even seen any music videos, so...
That basically.
Glastonbury won Best Festival. Surprise, surprise. Best Festival Headliner. The Cure.
That's an award.
The Cure.
No, don't mind The Cure. That's an award.
Best Festival Headliner.
What the fuck? What's that even mean?
And then Foals won Best Live Act. Foals a pretty good live actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I've seen live when they did everyone called the Blue Album. I can't remember what it's called.
Not Holy Fire. Talk Life Forever.
Yeah. This is the thing. I know albums by like the colour of the sleeve.
You could describe the cover art to me, and I can draw it.
I probably could. I can like colours for some reason. I just remember what the colours are.
There we go. So in fairness, some of those are actually
fairly worthy of it. I suppose. But, but again, it's like them trying to be different by making these weird like best album in the world,
best album in the world,
band in the world, because that's their world category.
Yeah.
when it's not British. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what's the point of that? And then best headliner act.
Best headliner, The Cure.
It's basically like whatever their favourite, whoever's voting, whatever their favourite.
What did The Cure play? Did they do?
Did they do Leeds Festival?
Was it Leeds again? Did they play Leeds like fucking 3 years ago or
Last year
something? I can't remember. Anyway, there you go. That's the Enemy
I
Awards.
suppose they do best headliner of the decade or something.
True. They should do. Maybe we'll do that.
No.
Speaking of Leeds,
yeah, the
Leeds and Reading lineup was released. We did actually. I think we did retweet that actually. If you retweet
I mean, yeah, I do most of the media stuff, so yeah.
it. I'd already seen it though, so I didn't need to retweet it.
Oh no, didn't retweet it for the adoring fans that we have.
It got actually one retweet, that tweet, by someone.
I don't know who it was by.
No.
Some random person.
Any thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's some pretty decent acts on there.
Headliners: Stormzy, Liam Gallagher, Rage Against the Machine, got Migos.
I mean, Migos is a bit of a weird one. I can't imagine
I can imagine
them on the
Migos
main stage.
live being absolutely fucking terrible.
So that we could give that the worst headliner act. Well, below headliner.
Second to headliner.
A second tier headliner.
I can just picture it in my head. Them just fucking doing stupid ad libs.
Can't believe even the ad libs I like, to be honest. What are they like?
Who?
Migos' ad libs.
Shit.
Yeah. some bullshit like that. Yeah. I mean, I think Migos is the weirdest one for me because they're not really. I know they're big. They are kind of bigger, I guess, but they're not like a. I think it's like certain hip hop acts, even like big hip hop acts, don't work as a main stage or an arena, like an arena gig, for example. You know, if we go to like Kendrick Lamar, even though he's really really big, I just don't feel like you want it to be in a big arena or you want it to be in a festival. I'm not saying it's a bad choice or he's not good at doing that. It's just not. For some reason, I just don't feel like music is that. They look like someone like Jay-Z and Kanye because of the amount of big singles they've had. It kind of does make more sense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like obviously he's had big singles, Kendrick, and so is Migos. But Migos' music is not even like stadium worthy, is it? So yeah. So then, that's the Saturday of Leeds you're looking at. So the first column. So Stormzy, Migos.
$2 Cinema Club, who were just there every fucking year for some reason. Like, fuck off.
Is that saying plus special guest $2 Cinema Clubs? Or is it Migos plus special guest?
Yeah, this is what I'm. To me, that looks like it's $2 Cinema Club are the special guests. That looks like to me. Which, given that they're there every year.
So are we? But is that Migos plus special guest $2 Cinema Club?
I'd like to see that.
that's what I'm saying.
I've just changed your mind.
That's what I'm like trying to understand there. All Time Low, yeah. Mabel, she's quite a lot of stuff I suppose that she's got there now. Yeah. I mean that day you got Denzel Curry in the smaller tents.
JPEG Mafia.
Yeah, about to say that as well. I don't know who the other people. Mahali's there.
Yeah, mainly like we are. The only problem is a lot of them are quite high up. I feel like
J1.
a lot of clashes there as well.
Yeah, so then you go to the next column, which is the Sunday for Leeds. Liam Gallagher. All right, I guess he's big.
That just. Have you ever listened to Jerry Cinnamon as well? Have you listened to any Jerry Cinnamon songs?
No.
No, the crowd that'll be there from Jerry Cinnamon to the end of Liam Gallagher. I'd just probably rather not, to be honest.
What's Jerry Cinnamon? What does he sound like?
I've only listened to one song that
didn't grab you.
Well, it gets played on repeat to me a lot by a certain somebody, and it's really annoying. He's like, he's a Scottish guy. I don't know if all of his songs are kind of acoustic guitar. I thought
you said all his songs are Scottish.
In Gaelic, he does them, actually.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. It's that kind of... The vibe I get from it is that kind of, same kind of Cortinas, Liam Gallagher.
Okay.
Lads with tins, that kind of vibe.
And then you've got D Block Europe before.
D Block Europe.
Now,
third on main stage.
I asked a couple of people who are same age bracket of you, and go, "Do you even know who D Block are? Never mind D Block Europe." And they went, "No. Do you know who D Block are?"
I mean,
Apart from the Europe side of things?
I've not really listened to much D Block. Like, I couldn't go to a festival.
No.
And
so don't think about D Block Europe. But do you even know who D Block are?
I feel like vaguely in the back of my head somewhere.
What can you pull from the black hole of your mind?
A group.
Well done.
A group of people.
From where? Then?
I don't know. I don't know if I know any of the names.
Where they're based though?
Where are they based? How specific do you want me to be?
Well, are they based in this country or outside our country?
Outside our country.
Yeah.
Where?
America.
I don't know where in America though.
From New York.
All right. Okay.
So D Block, is you've probably heard me talk about before, probably because of the JLo thing, but my boys, Jada Kiss, Styles P.
Yes.
So those two plus Chic Louch or Chic Luch, they're technically D Block anyway. They call themselves the Locks usually, but there's also there's other members in D Block that are lesser known. So like when I listened to D Block Europe when they were on the Dig Dat mixtape, I was like, oh, they're not really what I was thinking they're going to be. They're not really the Europe version of hard, gritty New York rhymes. So yeah, they're a bit weird. I guess they're fairly popular to be on the sort of the main stage, but I would say H is probably more popular.
That's what I would think.
So H is before them, which I think is a bit weird. Don't know who the main are. Don't know who Blocks are. The other tens you've got. Have you listened to Rex Orange County since? He was on Eagle, wasn't he? Was it Eagle?
He had that Pony album last year. It was on.
Was it Flowers?
He were on Flower Boy. He might have been on Eagle briefly. I'm not sure. I didn't mind the album he had last year. I thought it was alright, but some at least a few years ago, and I just thought it was a fucking boring set.
Okay.
But,
Heady won. Yeah, that big track last year, didn't he? So
yeah,
it makes more sense on there. Fontaine's EC. I'm sure they've been around for years. Seagulls, Black Bear, Easy Life, Inhaler. Then we've got Gallows. Are they still going?
Apparently, Cancer Bats.
Fucking yeah! You said that. I was like, what the fuck, Cancer Bats? 070 Shake. She's in the smaller tents. That's pretty cool. We listened to the album the day actually, so I can't listen to that. I guess I should have said that in the first bit. Yeah, still really like it. I think more I listen to it, more I'm enjoying it. So that's cool that she's on there. Danny Brown headlining the One Extra stage. So that's pretty cool. Again, shouldn't he be a bigger though?
I like that though. I like that he's headlining.
Oh no, I would, if I was going to see Danny Brown, that's the sort of gig I'd prefer. But you think he's a bit bigger now that you might want him in one of the bigger tents. KSI's there, Gets is there, which is pretty cool. Young T and Bugsy. I think Young T and Bugsy, they've been doing some stuff recently where they got themselves quite known. I'm not listening to any of their stuff yet, but I remember someone telling me they're all right.
Got that track with Urch last year.
So that's Sunday for Leeds, Saturday for Reading, and then Friday for Leeds and Sunday for Reading. Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine.
They're back.
I suppose, yeah.
Will there be a Christmas single this year again? off the back of this main stage.
Does this mean that they've got some new stuff coming then?
There's rumours that
they're just playing it.
Because there was rumour. I can't remember the main singer rapper guy. What's he called again? Because of his Z, didn't it? Anyway, he was meant to be doing an album produced by LP.
Right, okay.
Many years ago, about a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. That was the rumour, but it never ever happened for whatever reason. So it's weird because I know that Run the Jewels are doing tour with them as well, and Run the Jewels are here a bit further down on the same thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's like the thing we were talking about with Green Day, and I briefly said about Pearl Jam. Like, do we really need anything now? I don't know. Cortinas, cool. Slowthai, that's pretty cool. Lady Disher, that's pretty cool. Next 10 is AJ Tracy, pretty decent. Idols, that'd be cool. Anyone else that's kind of good on that? Not really.
There's no one jumping out to me, to be honest.
M100 dig that right down the bottom.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
There's no one screaming at me being like, you need to...
So how much are the tickets now for a weekend?
About 200 and something, I think. About £200, something like that.
Is that really worth it to see all of them?
Not cheap.
I mean, it doesn't feel like it's bogged down, because obviously there's going to be many more to be announced. This is the main headliners of each of things in it. So, what's your thoughts?
It's okay. It's all right. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
The thing is, like, I'm just not bothered anymore with festivals. I felt that time's been and gone now for me. Because I feel like, although being there the whole weekend is great, you know, you can drink, stay up all night, watch bands throughout the day, all that sort of stuff. It's pretty cool. But the money you spend, where you could probably, you know, divide all that money and actually see these bands that you really want to see live without the worry of it clashing elsewhere. Maybe that's how I look at things. I don't know, but I just feel like it doesn't tell me to go and see them, because I can probably see half of these people live anyway. I've already seen Danny Brown 2 or 3 times. Could probably easily see Denzel Curry probably come up here in Leeds at some point. M100 probably. Dig that probably. Fair few of these, to be fair. So
yeah, I know what I mean. I think it's a okay lineup. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think there was another tweet that came out as well about I showed you before about the women that were playing as well.
Yeah.
And on the lineup, there's going to be a good, not counting them, but there's at least 100 or so on there, and more than that, maybe even 150-ish, something like that. There's quite a lot. There are, I think, 20 either women or acts with, you know, acts that are women, like bands and stuff. Like 20 on the whole lineup. And it were kind of, there was everything has a debate around it now, doesn't it? So there was a debate on Twitter about
between genders or gender, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, about what should be, you know, because like
it's inclusion in it.
Yes, because like Primavera, who went to last year, probably will go in this year. They did it last year as well, doing it this year. They've committed to having like a 50-50 split on the lineup for men and women. And then you've got people coming in saying that, you know, they need to, if you're good enough, you'll be on the lineup basically. But I don't know, it kind of ignores the reality of how it works really, doesn't it? So yeah. The thing I didn't get as well is that when the Primavera thing happened, there was I remember reading some articles saying that they've done it. Basically, white festivals in the UK have done it, and there was a thing on there. I don't know if it was Leeds specifically. It might have been like Glastonbury, but they were like, "Oh, we've committed to it by this year." It's like, well, if that's the case, this seems to be a bit of a step. You're not really. I just think if you, especially think like the year just gone, how many like really great albums come out?
That were feminine.
Yeah, by female artists, and it's like,
well, yeah, like if you look at like, I'll probably bring it up now, but if you look at our list of our 10 albums, that definitely showcases that. I'll bring it up now. I'll say that whilst I'm trying to find it. Yeah, so even in our 10 albums, we've got Lana, Sharon, Lizzo, Little Sims, FKA Twigs, which is basically half our top 10 albums.
Yeah.
So,
and I kind of refuse to believe that it's like a booking issue.
Yeah.
That they can't get these people.
And it's like what I was saying before. It's not like, well, what was it out there, I suppose. It's when people are saying, oh, well, it should be good enough and things like that, then it's not a case of that. It's not an award show or anything like that where I thoroughly believe if it's an award show, it should be based on merit, not based on who they are, what religion they are, what skin colour they are, or anything like that. It should be based on actual whatever the field is, how good they are in that. This is not the case of that. This is basically being booked, but it's not having an equal measure, so it's not showcasing equal talent. Yeah,
I think as well, like people, I saw other people being kind of like, well, you need to almost cater to your audience, and there's, you know, a certain idea of people who go to Leeds Fest and basically saying they listen to one type, you know, they listen to this kind of music, you know, that they don't listen to a shitload of female artists. But it's like, well, are you not just acknowledging the problem there as well, that just music by blokes get pushed more, so more people listen to it? Like, you're almost arguing like, oh, well, no one listens to women anyway because no one pushes it, so we just shouldn't push it.
I feel like, you know, if I looked at when I was younger, I always felt like it was not like it was a bad thing to listen to, you know, women or anything like that, but it's just like it was a bit strange because you always think, well, it's most music by men is for men and most music for women is for women, but then things have changed and the world has changed a lot more in terms of how we all view stuff and kind of, you know, interpret things and I just don't really understand.
Yeah, and I think especially at like a festival where a lot, you know, given that there are clearly gaps in the lineup there, a lot of the weekend you should be wandering around. You're going to be sat at a stage listening to someone who you don't know. Like, if your argument is that people don't listen to women, then maybe if there were women at festivals, people might listen to them.
Yeah, put it this way, so I got into because I saw them live.
Yeah,
at Leeds Fest. Because my mate said, "Oh, these are pretty decent," and we weren't going to see him. And Karen O was amazing, like live, and I was like a huge fan of since then. And a lot of bands, you know, is that because I suppose what especially Leeds Fest or Reading Fest as well for all you Southerners. I suppose with that is the case where there's a lot of a younger audience does gravitate towards these gigs. So even you might have some legacy artists that go there, like, you know, things like Liam Gallagher and Rage Against the Machine, but for these young people, they may not even know some of these artists, whether they've been established or not, and that's maybe how they can become exposed to it because, I've got some time to the next person I really want to see. Let's just see what's going on, and then you float around different tents, seeing if anything kind of captures you, and that's kind of how I suppose that's what the good thing about these festivals are. For me, the reason why I don't bother going, even though I don't mind the experience of the festival, I just think, well, I already do what that happens anyway, but without being at home.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's, you know, I don't need the experience unless we had. For example, if we had to do a podcast over there, obviously we would do that, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. But again, you know, if people just solely listen to this, is what my issue is. It's like when people look at hip hop, go, "Oh, what is hip hop?" Because it's not my sort of thing. Like maybe there is something within hip hop that you may actually gravitate towards, whether it's completely old school or it's new school or in between. Again, not everyone likes metal music, but people have different interpretations of metal music. There are people who just think it's all screaming, but it's not all screaming.
Yeah.
So, if you just stick to one genre and you well within your right to do so, but you can't just comment or cast judgment on people whether they're, you know, women or not or anything like that. It needs to be based on if it's good or not. Not really, you know, if you want to listen to it and try it, go think, oh, well, if it's a woman. But then it shouldn't be a case of this. People who are booking these festivals should take in the fact that they need to have inclusion of all these different sort of aspects. You know, even more worldly music should be on these sort of festivals. I feel there should be like a world stage. Someone might get interested into that and go, "Oh, right, I'm going to delve into that."
I think there is a bigger problem of especially Leeds Fest, and again, I know it's mainly aimed towards, you know, people who like a certain genre of music, but, you know, bands like Cortina's Two Door Cinema Club, they're not coming out year on year with groundbreaking stuff, but they're there every year. You know, main stage.
It's like residency, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know the need for having more diverse acts. It's not just you need more women acts, like you say. It's just more music, really.
Yeah, more music the better. But then, you know, it needs to be a case. The problem is, like I've always said about Leeds Fest, especially, is that the price increased because they kept putting too many acts on there, which means you miss tons of music. Because if you really want to go there for the experience of being a festival and experience new music, then you're not going to get that because you're going to miss so much because there's too much on at the same time. That's the issue I have. I think it should be much better if it's more condensed and make it more sort of, you have the festival atmosphere, but then you're able to listen to pretty much at least 60% of the music that's there over the weekend, for example. if you miss 40%, that's fair enough. But 60% is quite a lot when you look at that. I think that should be the amount of people that should be there. Do you know, that shouldn't be any more than that, because that's enough to go and listen to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got Glastonbury that I suppose kind of do that in a way, but now they have more tents now, don't they, than they did before back in the day, because it's all about money. It's all commercial gain. So that ruins, you know, people's pockets as well as the ability to kind of, you know, listen to everything and other stuff as well. So yeah,
fuck capitalism, Chris.
As you know, as we say.
That's a recurring theme now.
Was that 2 times now? Okay, well,
keep going with it.
Before we go to that one, I just realised we didn't mention it in the first bit. We've listened to the new James Bond theme.
Yes. I listened to it once very briefly before the start of this.
Yeah.
But I thought it was decent.
So Billie Eilish, No Time to Die.
It's very Bondy.
Well, the instrumentation is definitely Bondy. But it's very understated. I quite like. I've grown to really like it, to be honest.
Yeah. Is our Twitter poll still tied? We've got a Twitter poll.
It's finished now. It's
50-50.
Yeah, it's tied.
50-50 split between
6 votes.
6 votes. That's decent, that.
But none of them commented or retweeted anything. So, yeah, I think it's really good. I think it's a case where it's more just to. I can definitely see how it will look in terms of when the film comes out. I think what we'll kind of slowly, briefly discussing that we might do a Bond
power rankings.
Bond power rankings of the Bond tunes, not the Bond films. When we do Bond in review, we watch all the Bond films as a podcast. Then maybe we could do that. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's definitely. I'll put it on the playlist as well. So
yeah, so tune in for our Bond power rankings coming soon. Maybe April. You come into that, or is that when the film's out?
Oh, I come into that. What, to our own power rankings?
Yeah, you committed to be in April.
We're committed to be April. Mate.
Is that when the film's out?
Yeah, the film's out in April.
Okay.
So
that's fine.
So what we'll do is.
Do I have to listen to every single Bond song?
Yeah, we're going to do it live here.
Oh God, on Twitch. Can you stream songs on Twitch? Is that a thing?
No, I think you get it done for it as well. You can do, but
so we're not going to do that then.
But we'll do it here, and then we'll discuss.
We'll sit there with headphones on Twitch.
But yeah, we'll
I have no camera for Twitch actually do so.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, so I feel that's kind of wraps up the news. To be fair, there's not many new releases, but we'll quickly
rattle through them.
Run through what has been going on. Album wise, big one for me. New J Beebs album featuring the track Crummy. Big single from this year. Is that actually on the album? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's right in the middle. The album is 51 minutes long. It includes Yummy Summer Walker remix.
So really, it's less than 50 minutes.
Because that's obviously what you wanted. So yeah, maybe we'll see.
Are we gonna get a review of this next week?
I don't hold me to that. I'm not committing to that one.
Okay.
Main one is the Tame Impala album. What is the title of the album?
It is The Slow Rush.
The Slow Rush.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of goes without saying. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, they've been knocking out of the park.
I think all the singles have been really good from it. Just a good band, aren't they?
Yeah, I need to see them live, to be honest, but I'm not seeing live yet.
When are they touring this album? Because I don't think they've announced it yet, have they?
No, but we definitely have to speak to, because Matt will want to see them live as well, so we have to speak to Matt about that.
We need to organise that.
Maybe a Newcastle trip, hopefully. Yeah, I'm really excited for Tame Impala. I think we'll probably have a full. We'll probably make a big segment of that next week.
I think so. Yeah.
We might give it a fair few listens and write some notes down, and then forget about the notes. Another one for me is Vinny Paz.
Vinny
from Jedi Mind Tricks. So above, so below.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny's basically, I'll probably say this for do a review of it next week. It's just like, if you think of a hardcore rapper. So not quite horrorcore, not quite really not quite sort of normal rap in terms of that. It's just that bridge in between, kind of like gangster rap, but not gangster rap. It's just hardcore rapping, and he's a very, very good rapper from Philadelphia, and he's always been good. He can always rap, and he's got a very sort of guttural sort of sound. And what I realised is recognise Ali from the Julian Experts. He on the album.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
So he tweeted and I think I retweeted or something or liked or something. So that's pretty cool. So I'm really excited to see that. Vinny can seem one-dimensional sometimes, and I can get that. Sometimes you do get it with some rappers or even some rock artists, I suppose. But I don't know. He feels like gap of that hardcore rap, hardcore lyricism that I kind of want sometimes. But it's not really introspective tracks, and the album that really got me into him was when Jedi Mind Tricks dropped. I think it's called Servants in Heaven, Kings in Hell, which is the most accessible Jedi Mind Tricks album, and it's not like too hardcore. It's got quite sort of variant sort of sounds, but. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I think Madlib produced a track one time on one of his solo albums. So Jedi Mind Tricks is basically still Vinny Paz just by himself anyway.
Yeah.
But it's with a producer called Stoop, the Enemy of Mankind. But sometimes with another rapper called Just Allah. But it's mainly just the sort of the former two really. So I don't know who what production is on this. I think Primo's did a track with Vinny at one time as well. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it should hopefully be really, really cool and really, really sort of filling that sort of hardcore rap.
Give that a listen as well.
So I actually missed his album with a guy called Tragedy Gaddafi last year, which is annoyed me. So I might go back to that as well before I listen to it. But yeah, that's definitely an album I want to listen to. That and Tame Impala, not Justin Bieber.
No.
I mean, I could try, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that.
I'm still trying to get through a lot of my lists, anyways.
Is that the top? Is that the top of your list?
No, it's like it's even below Logic, mate.
But yeah, I don't know, a bit of a. Like you said, I feel like those two are the two main.
Especially for me, they're definitely the main. I couldn't see anything else.
I feel like this is when we kind of thought that January would be like a slow month.
February's kind of now gone into a slow month.
Everyone released everything in fucking January. Now there's no one got over.
I remember February being quite big last year.
Yeah, like earlier in the years, but yeah, I remember quite a lot because coming out. But yeah, there we go. At least, I've got a lot to get through. Yeah, but yeah, I think we'll try to do a bit of a main review of the Tame Impala one next week.
Yeah, we'll try and do a little bit of a segment for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much.
Well, that's what's out this week anyway. So, at least we have probably a bit of a chance to listen to some other stuff we've not listened to so far as well, that we've tried to.
I'll keep trying, yeah. And keep posting it.
I will do. But yeah, so, as always, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube,
Facebook if you want to.
Spotify, Apple, Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Google Podcasts. I feel like that's it.
Pretty much. Castbox,
if I didn't say that already.
Overcast,
Breaker. Yep.
We'll keep saying
all them.
Also, I did put the Spotify playlist link
on
in the link tree, so you can look on that. I can't do it for Apple.
So you can't link it, right? Okay, that's fine.
I can't link a profile, so I just linked the profile on the thing. I don't know if it will work or not, but
okay. So I'll tell you what we'll do again. Because we do stuff live on air. So yeah, if you go to it's in the Twitter bio. It's in the Twitter bio. And it's in the Instagram bio, and then it's in all the podcast descriptions as well as the link tree. So if you go onto that, there's the Spotify link, which is just Spotify, which will take you to the podcast page, and there's the Spotify playlist link, which will take you to the Spotify profile, where you can see all the playlists, including the Mega Mix, which will then have episode 7 on shortly. But yeah, I guess that kind of wraps things up until next week. I think we should. Yeah, episode is normal next week.
Why wouldn't it be normal, mate?
It's the week after then, into the week.
So we have to do like double ones or something.
We'll try. We'll figure something out. But yeah,
cool. Well,
peace
out.
Peace. Give me a peppermint tea.